I really felt something was wrong when we did all these tests, and it was almost a year since we started doing all the tests, and nothing were helping that we were doing, and I just got worse. I was thinking that something is terribly wrong, but they haven't found it yet. It's probably a tumor or something. I'm probably gonna die. That was what I was thinking. I kind of was stuck on a plateau, and I didn't know how to break through. And I started thinking of maybe this is as good as it gets. Maybe I never will recover. Maybe I'm just stuck in this situation. It was after I'd been in the program for two weeks. Suddenly, I didn't have symptoms. It could be some hours during the day, and it just felt amazing.
How's it going, Thrivers? Miguel here from CFS Recovery. In this video, we have Marit, all the way from Norway. She was dealing with CFS for about 2 years before she found us. She was dealing with things like dizziness, nausea, fatigue, brain fog, weakness, just lots of body pain. And at her worst, she was couchbound. And now she can do everything she used to do, like kayaking, skiing. She went to a concert, and she's spending quality time with friends and family, even exercising, just out there living her best life. So this is going to be a really inspiring chat. But Marit, you want to quickly introduce yourself to everybody?
Yes. Hi, everyone. I'm Marit, or Marit, as we say in Norway. I'm 51 years old, living in Stavanger with my husband and 2 children. Now they're not children anymore. They are 18 and 20, but still living at home. Yeah, I identify myself as a very active person. I love being out in nature. I love hiking. I love doing all kind of skiing, downhill or cross country. I like spending time with friends and family. I like to explore, traveling, and I just love life. I'm very yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, it wasn't too long ago where life didn't look like that, though. And I want to go back in time to where this all started. Your journey with CFS and all of these symptoms. How did it all start? Like, what was your life like leading up to the illness?
Well, it all started after having the COVID infection. I was sick with flu, similar symptoms every 4 weeks, and it took quite a while to recover from the COVID infection, and it felt like I just had recovered, and then I was down with round number 2 with COVID again, and after that I never recovered, and I had a cold for several months, coughing a lot, and I did. I really felt something was wrong with me. I didn't feel myself, and I started to go to the doctor to take tests to see if there was something wrong with me. But the tests turned out fine. There wasn't anything wrong, and I got a message that you can just continue life as normal, and so I did. I just, I had some symptoms. But I just ignored them, and I pushed myself, trying to exercise, trying to, do all the stuff that you want to do. I was traveling. I was going backcountry skiing a lot at that time, and I also attended a ski competition. And I don't know how I did it, but I kind of having a very strong will, and I'm just, I just want to do it and complete, and my body didn't respond quite good to the exercise and the things that I was doing, and I started like having a lot of stiffness in my body. I woke up in the morning feeling I ran a marathon the day before, even I hadn't been doing any activity at all. So there was a lot of muscle pain and joint pain, and this sensation in your body where you're feeling like the busy feeling, restlessness. Yeah, so it was quite weird, and the stiffness was quite frightening, or not frightening, but I felt like a very old woman, maybe 100-year-old. And
brittle and fragile.
Yeah, it was really strange, the feeling of, you don't recognize your body anymore. And so we started to do some more examination, and I was examined for fibromyalgia.
Fibromyalgia.
Yeah, but they didn't mean that it was this illness either. And we continue to test for different things. Lyme was something they were investigating, and I also took a lot of tests with heart. I had a lot of heart palpitations, and so we tested the lung capacity. We tested out the lung capacity and the heart to see if something was wrong, because every time I went for a walk or tried to do something with a little hill, my pulse would go really high, and I was breathing very heavily. And it was easier to just walk flat or downhill. Yeah. But no, nothing was wrong with me, and I was joining a rehabilitation center for long COVID, and I attended that for 4 month time.
And that's out in Norway, a special clinic there.
Yeah, but at this time, COVID was very new, so they didn't have so much experience on the illness of long COVID. But there was several people struggling with the same thing, and they kind of had a program for that. But at that time, I just got worse and worse and worse. And I had to log how much activity I did in one day, and everything from brushing your teeth to taking the shower in the morning, and those kind of activities wasn't an activity for me.
So everything felt like a big task, right? And so they had you writing down everything.
And the message was that you're doing way too much. You have to slow down. You have to take it easy. The energy capacity is very low, and you mustn't go over your capacity. The capacity that you have for a day. So I tried to take the activity down, but at the end I was just lying on the couch.
Yeah, and that's the big problem, right? It's like almost everything you do can trigger symptoms. So when people say you're doing too much, your world gets smaller and smaller and smaller, to the point where you're really just lying down staring at a ceiling all day, right? So just so people understand your story, I mean, how bad did it really get? I know you were couchbound, even bedridden for like short windows of time, but I mean, at your worst, what was it like? Like, paint a picture of a typical day for you, when you're at your worst.
Well, a typical day for me was waking up and I had to lie for a while just to get myself together, and then I moved from the bed into the couch in the living room, and after a while I took a shower, and then I rested again on the couch, and then I made myself some breakfast, and then I rested again, and maybe at that point I couldn't read, I couldn't see television, I couldn't listen to music, or I couldn't listen to a podcast. That was impossible. I was very sensitive to noise, and I was actually lying the most of the day. And when you're curling up, like the babies do, in that position. And the body is just hurting. There's so much pain, and you just want the day to go by and hoping for tomorrow will be better. That's what you do. Yeah.
I remember that exact feeling. And, you wake up and almost the first thought within the first 30 seconds, it's just like, how do I get through the day? How do I just survive and not crash today? And it's a difficult place to be, because that's all you're really thinking about. How do I not crash? So it's not even about enjoying your day or enjoying the food or going to see the sunshine like most people. It's how do I just make it to tomorrow? Mm-hmm. And it is a very, I guess it can be a very dark time, especially when you don't know what's going on. So for you, just like mentally and emotionally, what was going through your mind when you're getting worse and the doctors are saying you're completely fine? Like, what were some thoughts that were going through your mind at that time? You feel like you were going crazy at times?
Mm-hmm. At first, I thought that, okay, they say that I'm fine, so I probably am, and I just tried to live normal. But after several months, that wasn't possible anymore, and I had to I went on a sick leave from work, but I was still working 50%, and the only thing I did was go to work, and when I come home, I just had to rest on the couch.
I guess what was going through your mind mentally and emotionally during this whole time, especially as you weren't making progress and the doctors were telling you you're actually fine and there's nothing wrong?
Yeah, I really felt something was wrong when we did all these tests, and it was almost a year since we started doing all the tests, and nothing were helping that we were doing, and I just got worse. I was thinking that something is terribly wrong, but they haven't found it yet. It's probably a tumor or something. I'm probably gonna die. That was what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I thought there's probably some hidden thing they keep missing, and it's probably one of those 1 in a million diseases that people don't know about, and it's probably going to take me out. Like that's what was going through my mind until I figured out like it's actually a hypersensitive nervous system. Thankfully, I figured it out. So eventually, you stumble across CFS recovery, and I believe you were actually talking to somebody who had CFS as well, and he was recovering at the time through a program, and he shared that with you. Things started to click. What made you want to actually come on board and start working with our team inside the academy?
At that time, I was very desperate. I've been ill for quite a long time, and I had recovered a little bit, and but I kind of was stuck on a plateau, and I didn't know how to break through. And I started thinking of maybe this is as good as it gets. Maybe I never will recover. Maybe I'll just stuck in this situation. And I was hearing others interviewed in the newspaper since it was 5 years since we had the COVID situation, and they were interviewing people that had long COVID, and they hadn't recovered, and they had just accepted their situation as this is as good as it gets. And I was like, no way, this can't be it. I was so terrified to be stuck in this situation, and I was so hoping there was another solution. And yeah, I found this friend that told me about the program, and that was really a rescue for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm so grateful that I found CFS recovery, and that it was, I just knew it right away. I saw some of the videos that's you can find on the YouTube, the introduction videos, and I was 100% certain that this will help me to recover. That's just what I need. And I was terrified not to be accepted by the community, or, to get in.
Yeah. I remember our first chat, which was about a year and a half ago, I believe. And you're in a pretty dark place, but you always had that determination of just not accepting that this is going to be for the rest of your life. You come on board. What was one of your first big wins when you had that first shift and you realized, oh, I'm actually making progress. This actually works. Do you remember that? I mean, for some people, it's just, a mental win they had, or it's something as simple as taking a shower without symptoms. But for you, what was that big moment where you realized I can actually fix this? And, I figured out what to do.
Well, it was after I'd been in the program for two weeks that I suddenly didn't have symptoms. I was symptoms-free a little period of time. I usually had symptoms 24/7, all day, all night, every week, every day. And suddenly I didn't have symptoms. It could be some hours during the day. And it just felt amazing, feeling as myself again, just for a little while. But after 3 weeks, I had very long periods with no symptoms. And I only had symptoms when I had an AP. When I were doing a lot of activity, then I had flare-ups, or not flare-ups, but I had increased symptoms. So that was amazing. But it was quite hard, a lot of work. You have to work all day, all night, all weekend. You don't have a day off, or you work, and it pays off. So after 3 weeks, there was really a big change within me.
That's amazing.
So, yeah.
It's kind of like a breath of fresh air. That's how I remember my first few wins when I was in the hospital. But I would have, for me, it was maybe a couple minutes at a time with minimal symptoms compared to all day with extreme symptoms. It's like a breath of fresh air. It's refreshing to experience that when you've been sick for so long. So what would you attribute that to? What are some things that really helped in those first 2 weeks that made things shift in your nervous system?
Well, for me, it was the knowledge of how to handle the symptoms. That was a changer. It's like when I knew how I should respond to the symptoms, that really helped me going forward. Because I had been so afraid of the symptoms. At that point, I had been sick for 2 years, and the symptoms were just getting worse and worse, or more of it. Or it's like you started to be afraid of doing activities because you knew what would happen if you did. So I kind of pulled back. I probably isolated quite a bit because I was afraid of the symptoms. So when if there was something coming up, we're probably thinking that I should stay at home. It's probably not a good idea to join because that will just give me a flare-up. And or if I went to the activity, I were thinking when I were at the activity that this is not a good idea. I should go home. This will not be good. And when I came home, I was also thinking, no, I did way too much, and this will punish me hard. And usually then it did. And I could, for an activity like a family dinner or meeting up with friends, or maybe we just walk for a little while, that would punish me for 3 to 5 days afterwards. And I had to lay down and just deal with the increased symptoms. So I was afraid of the symptoms when I started the program. And when I realized that I'm not doing anything wrong, I'm doing it right. I do increase activity when I feel it's okay. And for me, knowing that I did the right thing, that was a game changer. Because before, when I increased activity, I also got increased symptoms. And then I felt that I did something wrong. It was me doing something wrong, because now you did way too much. Now you went over your energy capacity, and now you're punished. And then I was lying there and thinking, you're never gonna recover. This is, you're doomed. Yeah. And so when you told, or the videos were very good at, and you get the information of how the nervous system works, and that you have to recalibrate the nervous system. When I understand how I get into this situation, it was much easier to adapt to the exercises and everything that you have to do to recover.
Yeah, the knowledge is really powerful, because once you understand what's going on and it starts to make sense, you are a lot less emotional about it, and you don't beat yourself up or feel bad about the flare-ups, because initially, when you don't know what's going on, almost everything we do leads to increased symptoms. So now we start fearing everything, because everything leads to that. But understanding that it is part of the process, it takes a lot of pressure off you, I think. And it reduces the emotional stimulation that keeps us in these downward spirals. So it sounds like it clicked fairly quickly for you, because you really started to believe that information. For you to see these kind of changes, you really had to believe that this is actually what's happening in your body. What helped you buy into these ideas? Because some people, it takes them longer to kind of accept these things as science that's happening. But what made you go all in on this and really believe this stuff?
I was kind of well educated into the thoughts of the recovery program, but I just had that little extra help to know that what I'm doing is actually correct. It's I'm not failing. I'm doing it just the way it's supposed to do, to increase activity, pull back before it gets overwhelming.
And the big thing too is I guess having that feedback, because you mentioned you read a lot of books, you tried other things to get better, but it never really clicked. I found that when people have that live human feedback of guiding them on how to implement this stuff, and just saying, hey, you're doing it right, or hey, you could be doing this a little bit better, that's what really helps a lot of people. For you, it wasn't so much new knowledge, it was more so like how to implement the knowledge, right? And exactly what to do with that knowledge. So, I mean, for you, how helpful was it just being on calls with other people who were also getting better and getting that live interaction with the coaches on those calls? Did that make a big difference for you?
Well, for me, I didn't attend to many of the live calls, because they were on a time of the day where the family eats dinner and I see the family. So I saw the replays, because it wasn't a good time of the day for me. But I really like the academy, where you are together with others and you can share what you're going through. Because my experience is that people don't understand your situation if they haven't been there themselves. So I like to connect with others or just share my wins, and then you get feedbacks and people are, applauding, and everyone wants you to get back there, and reading about others that had recovered, that really inspired me as well. So yeah, it's good to you feel quite lonely in a situation like this. So it's quite nice to have others to share your situation with.
Mm-hmm. I always say it feels like you're part of a small team versus just doing this all by yourself. And we all know how isolating it is when doctors don't understand, and even family, as supportive as they are, that they don't fully understand what you're feeling because they just haven't been through it. And we wouldn't want them to fully understand. But it does help having other people you can talk to and celebrate with as well, actually understand what you're going through. So for you, it's been quite the journey. Fast forward to today, you shared it a little bit earlier, but what are some of the biggest things you can do now, and describe what kind of activities you're doing? You mentioned the skiing, exercising before we started this call. You said you ran 4 kilometers, which is amazing. So what are the things you can do now that you couldn't do when you were at your worst not too long ago? When we could start with maybe the physical things.
Yeah, well, I can do everything now. It's like you say, the sky is the limit. It's like I'm not afraid anymore doing stuff. Not afraid, to have a flare up. That I think that was one of my that was holding me back, because I was afraid of what might happen. But when I just started doing things, like I think I've been in the academy just for, not the academy, but the school. I've been in the system. I've been in the system for about 3 weeks, maybe. I went on a really nice backcountry skiing trip, and it was quite long, and it was quite hilly, and it was I had never done that trip if I wasn't certain of, I had the support. Oh, go out, do that, and yeah, it was amazing. And after that, I understand that, okay, I can do more than I think I can. Not that I didn't have a very heavy AP after that, but it's like, that's okay, because I've been working out, I did an activity I hadn't done for many years, and of course I will have soreness in my body afterwards, and of course I will feel a little bit emotionally numb and dizzy, and because I hadn't been doing this for a very long time. So that was amazing when you figure out that it was possible. But of course, doing an activity that heavy, that will give you a lot of symptoms, but you just have to respond well. Responding well is the solution for everything.
Yeah, it really is, and that's just one of the things you've been able to do. You're exercising, like you're hanging out with friends, all of those things. And I remember back when we first spoke, you could do maybe one big activity and that would take you out for a handful of days. So one of your ultimate goals was to just be free of symptoms, be able to live your life, have a high quality of life. Mm-hmm. And here you are today, living that. How would just the way you live life now, right? How different is it? And do you have a different way you go about your life now versus like the old Marit 1 or 2 years ago when you were in the trenches, maybe even prior to CFS? Because we always talk about building this 2.0 version of yourself, and CFS, it's a way to rebuild yourself into a better version. So how different does the Marit today see the world and go about her life? How different does she go about doing those things versus the old Marit?
I remember you talking about the 2.1, no, 2.0 version, and I was like, no, I don't need to be a 2.0 version. I'm very happy with the version I am. And I was like, I just want to go back to that version. But yeah, I think I found a new version after all I did. I feel much more grounded.
That's what I felt too. Life just felt easier when I wasn't always in my, like nowadays, I'm not always in my head 24/7, over analyzing, anticipating. But those are the traits that in the past led us to getting CFS in the first place. Well, some of the traits, right? There's a lot of things that lead to it, but I just feel like life is so much more enjoyable now that I'm not worried about every single thing. So for you, if you could go back in time, what would you say to Marit or Marit at her lowest point, right? When she was in the trenches, not knowing if it's even possible to recover or to ever return back to normal life, knowing what you know now, what would you tell that version of yourself?
Well, I would tell her to have faith and don't give up. And I always had faith, and I was not going to give up yet. But it's very important to believe that you can recover, and having that strength to never give up. It's easier to recover because it is kind of a hard work. It's a job you have to do. So it's very good to be dedicated. The advices that you are given.
There's no right answer too, right? There is no right answer. It's just straight up like, what would you tell yourself? Could be short, could be long.
Yeah,
I would probably tell myself something similar. Yeah, just don't give up, and it's possible. Like,
yeah, that's something. But it's like, are you thinking of what kind of solution would help? Like more the specific?
off the top of your head, if you could teleport back in time and you walked into the room, you saw yourself on that bed, you know what? Anything. What comes to mind first that you would tell that version of Marit? Yeah.
I think that is a very hard question to answer because of the cause that I got into this situation was me not listening to my body and my symptoms. And for me to recover, it was that I had to not listening to my symptoms in a kind of a way. Yeah. So it's like, it's a little bit hard, to say what I shouldn't have done, but of course I should have listened more to myself and what I was feeling. And I felt something wasn't normal, but I should have taken down activity way earlier than I did. I did way too much, and that led me really hard down in CFS. So listening to your body and allow yourself to take it in a slow path and not overdo it, and then believe that you're gonna recover and that there will be a solution for you. And don't give up, and find all the information you can about it on the internet, or because the doctors don't know so much about it. And at that time, I wasn't capable of going to the internet trying to find information myself. So for me, that was a saving angel, the friend that came and gave me the advice of CFS recovery. That was really, where did that come from? And it's like, that saved me.
That's amazing. I'm so glad that Tom, he also has a recovery interview on this channel, that he was able to introduce you to us. He was actually introduced to us from somebody else who recovered as well, because Tom was also bedridden at one point. Like, he was in pretty rough shape. But is there anything else you'd like to share with people watching this right now who are maybe in a difficult time, and maybe they just found this channel and they're still stuck, and they're just looking for hope and inspiration, and they're looking at you saying, wow, I wish I was her. How did she do it? What kind of words of wisdom, I guess, would you like to share with those people watching this?
I would say that you don't need to accept your situation. There is a solution. You can get or you can recover. And for me, CFS recovery was that solution. It was really good how the videos I was exposed to, they were really informative and easy to understand. And when I understand how the nervous system works and also how you get in a situation like this, it was so much easier for me to recover, because then I understand what I had to do. And then I had to take it in a slow path. But it's like, for me, after the first 3 weeks, my recovery went like a hockey stick, and I recovered really fast. It's like from not being able to do anything to suddenly do a lot of activity, and also the symptoms that I had went away, and not feeling pain in the body all the time. That was amazing. So it's like there is a solution for everything, or if you're dealing with CFS recovery, with CFS or long COVID, there. Yeah, I really can recommend this program.
Yeah, and it's so cool. It's always cool to see these amazing transformations, because it's not like we gave you it's not like we gave you a magic pill or did some voodoo on you. It's like we just gave you information, but ultimately you actually had to put in the work. But this shows that the root cause is something happening in the brain or in the nervous system, but we can't fix that for you. You have to fix it. We can show you what to do. And it's really cool what happens when you put in the work and follow the steps to the best of your ability, just simplify things. And probably one of the biggest takeaways that you shared was not anticipating. When there's activities, there can be anticipating leading up to it, anticipating symptoms during it, and then also anticipating after of the symptoms to come. But if you just go in and then simplify it, trust your nervous system, and overall respond well, I think that's a huge key. And that's why you've been so successful. You got really good at responding well to symptoms and simplifying things. That's why you're where you're at today, and you put in the work. So,
I always thought I had that idea of, I like the where you compare the AP to training out at the gym.
Exercise.
Yeah, you do the exercise, and I was thinking of that. Of course, I have these symptoms now, increase in symptoms, because I've been working out, even though it was emotional workout or if it was a cognitive workout. It's like you do an activity that you haven't been doing for a long time, and of course you will have increased symptoms because of that. And I just stayed in my 3-step world and cope with the symptoms, telling me myself that it's okay. And I started knitting. I did a lot of knitting.
Yeah,
that was kind of my runaway, or
it's a good thing for your mind to focus on other than the symptoms, right? Knitting's a big
it is.
Yeah, the 3-foot world, that's another really good golden nugget too. It's really understanding and accepting what you can control. And you realize most of these worries, most of the things that lead to symptoms, a lot of it's worries about things we can't control. So the one thing we can definitely control every single time is our response to symptoms. So like putting the energy and focus into that, I think that's what helps a lot as well. Like putting your energy into things you do have control over. So I'm just very excited for you, very happy to see that you're out there living life again. And is there anything else you'd like to share with the viewers or maybe the team at CFS Recovery?
Yes. Well, when I had the first interview with you, Miguel, you asked me what is your world looking like when you recover, and what are the things that you would like to do? And I did say all the things that I had been doing before, the things that really I enjoy. And it's like, I know it's probably not possible, but that's where I want to be when I recover. And now I'm there. I can do all the stuff. And that's quite amazing because I didn't think I would come there. That was something, I just dreamt. I dreamed of. I just really wished for. Maybe for a day or two, I could be like myself again. Didn't think that was possible, but it really was.
It really was. And I have it pulled up here. I'll read it out word for word. This is February 23rd. When you reached out to us, you said, you were asked, what does your ideal future look and feel like? And you wrote down word for word, I want to feel normal again. I want to wake up in the morning without my body feeling heavy and aching. I want to have a conversation without feeling dizzy and nauseous. I want to feel like a resource instead of a burden. I want to be a caring and supporting mom, wife, and friend again. I want to be active and start running, skiing, and hiking again. I want to be able to work. And most important, I want to enjoy life again. So maybe you remember writing that, but you're doing all of that right now.
I am.
It's very heartwarming to see. And, I saw that in you from day one, to be honest. And I'm just really glad to be a part of your journey. And now this is going to inspire so many people. So you made it. You did it. You did it. You were one mind shift away. You had that mind shift, and here you are, thriving. So it is super, super cool to see. But appreciate you coming on here and sharing some of your story. Is there anything else you want to share with people before we wrap this up?
It's possible to get better. It's possible to recover. And I just want to say that don't give up. There's hope. And you have to connect with Miguel and his team. They are fantastic, and they will help you recover.
Appreciate you. Well, everybody watching this, hope you got lots of value and inspiration out of this video. Marit and myself, we're human just like you. Like, we've been in your shoes. We know what it's like to be at rock bottom, and we've gotten our lives back along with hundreds and hundreds of other people inside of this community, not to mention the thousands of people online, all over, getting their lives back all around the world every single day. So hope you got a lot of value out of this one. Leave a comment down below what your biggest takeaway was from this video. And if you ever feel like you need more help on your recovery journey, more than just the YouTube videos, there's a link down below where you can apply and see if you're a good fit for the program and to see if we can actually solve what you're dealing with. If so, we'd love to help you. But always remember that you are a thriver and you are just one mind shift away from living life with thriving health. So we'll see you guys in the next video. Marit, keep on crushing it.
Let's say that CFS recovery is absolutely the real deal.
I actually felt like somebody had an answer, like somebody explained what was going on, and it all clicked.